Good afternoon, everyone. I welcome you to this information session on Destination 3. I'm Barbara Kerstjens, the head of unit of the Combating Diseases unit. And this session will be co-moderated by my two colleagues, Arjan van Engel and Greg Ovsjanik. Over to you, Arjan and Greg.
Thank you, Barbara, for your introduction. I don't know whether we are on the screen. Okay. So welcome to the question and answer session devoted to the Destination 3 called Tackling Diseases and Reducing Disease Burden. I'm Greg Ovsjanik, team leader for communicative diseases in the unit of Barbara. And I'm here with Arjan.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Yeah. So
my name is Arjan van Engel, and I'm indeed working with Barbara and Greg in the same unit where I'm the team leader for infectious diseases. Over to you again, Greg.
Okay, thank you, Arjan. So, so the main way to communicate with you, with the audience, is via the Slido. So, could you please put the Slido, so you have the QR code and also all the necessary information how to connect to Slido. So please start putting the questions, which we will start to answer very soon. So before we go to the question and answers, I would like to remind you that we are only focused on topics for 2021. So may I have my 2 slides of PowerPoint presentation? So in Destination 3 for year 2021, for the first year of our work program, we have 5 research and innovation action topics. So the topic on improve supportive palliative survivorship and end-of-life care of cancer patients. So the topic 0401. Topic 0402, which is on building a European innovation platform for repurposing of medicinal products. Topic 0403 on innovative approaches to enhance poverty-related diseases research in sub-Saharan Africa. Topic 0404, a clinical validation of artificial intelligence solutions for treatment and care. And the 5th research and innovation action, which is focused on personalized medicine and infectious diseases, understanding the individual host responses to viruses like, for example, SARS-CoV-2. And then we have also 2, may I have the next slide, please, 2 coordination and support action. The topic 0405, which is a roadmap towards the creation of the European Partnership on One Health Antimicrobial Resistance. And topic 0406, building a European Partnership for Pandemic Preparedness. So all these topics are already open. And the deadline is for the submission is on the 21st of September this year. So I would like to maybe now move to the Slido. So I've seen that there are already some questions which start to appear. Okay, so the first question we received from our audience is for the topic 0404 on artificial intelligence. The artificial intelligence solution should be already developed, or also artificial intelligence development can take place in this topic. I mean, the topic is focused on the clinical validation of artificial intelligence solution. And also one of the requirements which is mentioned in the scope of the topic is the topic should base on the pre-existing clinical or preclinical evidence. So in this case, the development of completely new artificial solution is not really fully in the scope of the topic. So it's you know, what we have as an interest in this research is looking a little bit more upstream of development of artificial intelligence, more in the application of this and putting this in the clinical settings, you know, validating and trying to fit it with the current clinical guidelines. Okay, so then the next question is the question for the topic 0407 on personalized medicine and infectious diseases. Is this topic only limited to the SARS-CoV-2 or SARS-CoV-2 viruses? No, we give it only as an example. So it's open to all other viruses as well. Next question is on topic 0401. Should the intervention, so it's a palliative care, supportive care, and of like care topic, should the intervention be related to all domains, supportive, palliative, survivorship, or end of life, or to one or more? I think we wrote this, this topic is rather open, and we leave it to the applicants to focus on the relevant domains. So it can be, you know, one, two, or even all. It depends what really the applicants want to would like to study and which research they plan to implement in the proposal. Okay, so we have another question. Another question to topic 0407. So it's a personalized medicine topic. What are the expectations of this call if we focus on COVID vaccination variants? I mean, this is not only focused, as I say, on COVID. So of course, if we look at the topic, what we want to achieve is the generation of the understanding of the individual host response to viruses. We also would like to have some new recognized standard operating procedures and some new guidelines. In this case, also maybe some specific biomarkers. So it's not only focused on COVID research. Okay, then we have the next questions. I think it's for Arjon.
So this is on topic 0403. So that is the topic on the innovative approaches to announce poverty-related diseases research in sub-Saharan Africa. So, and the question is, non-communicable diseases coming from infections of the upper respiratory tract, are they eligible? So this is really focusing on communicable diseases. So it should come with, of course, a background of communicable diseases, and then, of course, if we're dealing with co-infections or other sensitive patient groups that might be involved here, then there's, of course, a possibility, since that's not excluded in the topic, but the topic is really focusing on communicable diseases. So the next question is the involvement of a small or medium-sized pharmaceutical company viewed more favorably than the involving a large pharma company? I think here it really depends on the proposal. So of course, the position or the activities performed by the company, that is what it's about. In general, we very much support the inclusion of small and medium-sized enterprises, but of course, it has to be very relevant to the activities that are described in the proposal. But in addition to that, large pharmaceutical companies are also welcome to be partners in the proposals. And the next question is on 0405. So I think that one is for you, Greg, isn't it?
No, 0405, Arjon, it's One Health AMR topic.
Okay. Are there any budget exceptions? So that is not so clear what's meant with the budget exception. So the expected budget is indicated in the call topic. And of course, there's always a possibility to request different amounts. And that is also what we have clarified in the work program.
Okay, so we have a question for the topic 0404. So this is the topic on artificial intelligence. International collaboration is encouraged. How should this collaboration be with partners not eligible for funding? So there is no limitation for the participation in our topics, in the proposals as a partners. In terms of the funding, there are only some countries which are eligible to receive funding from through our programs. So this is very well specified in the work program. So we send the applicants to read general annexes and all the eligibility criteria for this. So there is no limitation. So the partners who are not eligible for funding can participate in our programs in these proposals, and simply they will be not funded through our mechanism. Okay, so the question to the topic 0401, so the palliative care topic, are there any guidelines on pharmacological intervention? I understand in the topic text, can proposal focus solely on non-pharmacological intervention? I mean, the topic is open for both, so there is no problem if it addresses either pharmacological or non-pharmacological intervention.
Okay, the next question that I see there is on topic 0402. So that is the platform for repurposing. So here the question is, the definition of a platform is not specified in the text. Is it expected to have several use cases on drug repurposing? Well, here what we have seen so far is that there are many initiatives for drug repurposing, focusing on either a single compound or a single disease. What we want to do with this specific topic is providing a kind of a platform technology that is disease agnostic, so not focusing on specific diseases, not focusing on individual compounds for repurposing, but really developing a wide platform that can be used for the repurposing in general for both communicable and non-communicable diseases. So, and therefore, of course, you can use the latest technology that has been developed. You might think about e-health aspects, artificial intelligence, certain platforms, technology platforms for development or screening that have been developed so far. So that is really the platform technologies that are available that can be used for this right now. In addition to that, it is, of course, possible to have some kind of pilot studies with individual compounds to test the platform. But the focus is really not on individual diseases, not on individual compounds, but on this platform technology.
Okay, so we have another question to topic 0404, so artificial intelligence topic, clinical validation of AI solution. Is the topic limited to the treatment and care only, or are solutions which provide risk prediction suitable? So the main interest of the topic are, of course, treatment and care. But as written in the scope, the topic also should provide the accurate prognosing for and response to a specific personalized treatment, which provides the solid risk assessment, which is includes like potential adverse effects, side effects, expected treatment, and so on. So it depends how the applicants position this type of the research in their proposal. Okay, so another question to the same topic. Should we propose a reproducible clinical study in different fields, oncology, cardiology, or is only one acceptable? This is open to the applicant. We don't specify. We leave it, to the applicant to choose the field of intervention. Okay, so next question to the topic on personalized medicine and infectious diseases. So topic 0407, are interventional clinical trials eligible in this topic? So as I mentioned in one of the earlier questions, this topic is focused on, generating new knowledge to understand responses, individual host responses to the viruses. So in this case, also is say that it should follow on be focused on follow-up of the patients. So we rather expect the observational studies, this intervention, which will test new treatment. But of course, this is not excluded from the topic completely. So it depends how the applicants position this also in the research. But we would not expect many proposals which are focusing on the treatment and testing, certain interventions. So it will be rather observational studies, what we expect from this topic. Okay, so again, the question to the topic 0407. In this topic, Amanda, is this topic? Okay, whether the animal models or in vitro models are mandatory to carry out in this topic. I think I will ask my colleague Jean-Luc to answer this question because it's quite specific and he was involved in development of this topic. Jean-Luc?
Yes, thank you, Greg. It's not mandatory, so I think it's relevant in the topic, so it's up to the applicant to decide.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So it's I don't know whether this was because there was some audio problem, at least I could not hear it very well, but it's not mandatory, so the applicants are free to focus on this or not. Then we have okay, wait a moment. Topic 0404. Could topic 0404 encompass AI-driven efficiency approaches addressing mental health? So I would like to tell that in the destination one, we have a specific topic on the mental health. So please look at the video of the destination one, where you can see information concerning the mental health topic, and then of course the artificial intelligence. I think it could be one of the possible approaches used in proposing this type of the research.
Okay, the next
but
question.
Also maybe Adrian, I still add to this topic. This is also possible in terms of this topic to focus on the mental health. Yeah.
Okay, the next question concerns topic 0402, 0407, but I think it's a more general question, which is important to answer indeed. So what are the expected reasonable durations for the project in these topics? In general, we leave the duration up to the applicants. So it's really important that what the applicants present in their proposal is a concise set of activities with a duration that fits with that. So if there's experimental work that require a large duration, then they will require a large duration. If things can be done in a much shorter time frame, then they should propose that in a much shorter time frame. And of course, during the evaluation, the experts will assess whether the time frame that is proposed is reasonable in relation to these activities. So the next question is on topic 0403. So are non-sub-Saharan African low and middle income countries still eligible for funding for this topic, despite the geographical focus? And that is actually mentioned in the call text. So if you look at the eligibility conditions for this topic, it says, due to the scope of the topic, legal entities established in all member states of the African Union are exceptionally eligible for union funding. So that means it's not restricted to sub-Saharan Africa, but it is including all the African Union countries. But in addition to that, of course, as you continue reading through these eligibility conditions, there has to be a sub-Saharan African country within the beneficiaries of the proposal.
Okay, so question to the topic 0407, so personalized medicine and infectious diseases. It is mentioned that the proposal that focus on COVID-19 are strongly encouraged to build links with the EU-funded Project Orchestra. Yes, this is one of the suggestions we have to put it in the context of the current research on COVID-19.
Yes, so maybe to add to that, Orchestra is a large project that is funded by us under Horizon 2020, which is focusing on cohorts of people in terms of COVID-19.
Okay, so question to 0404, are mental health diseases included in the program? I think this is in the topic. I mean, topic is not restricted to any different disease areas. So then another question to the topic 0407, focus on SARS-CoV-2. If project starts on April 2021, hopefully most of the population will be vaccinated, but vaccination is not at all mentioned. Because this is not the main purpose, you know, to look at the vaccination in the topic. And yeah, we still don't know how it will be with the new variants. And I think this is maybe, you know, the area where the topic can look at. So it's hard to predict what it will be in April 2022. Okay, so a question to the topic 0401. Must the intervention target all age groups, including children, adults, or elderly? Many thanks. So yes, it's open to all ages, group ages, and of course it has to be relevant for the proposed research. So there is no limitation or restriction in this aspect.
So this is the question again on the topic 0403 on non-communicable diseases coming from infections of the upper respiratory tract. Are they eligible? So here it is really, as I mentioned before, the focus is on communicable diseases. And of course, the proposals that are submitted to this proposal, to this call topic, should be in line also with what is the scope of the European and Developing Countries Clinical Trial Partnership, EDCTP.
Okay, so a question to the topic 0404, so artificial intelligence topic. Patient carers have access to disease-specific communication packages. Is this usual dissemination done in the projects? Yes, normally we have the project which provide the dissemination if they plan, and this is one of the requirements of the topic. They should provide the communication packages, especially in this context, you know, of artificial intelligence. It's good to inform patients and carers what's the values of this artificial intelligence, how it works, and yeah. So this is a requirement.
So then there's a question, do the standard consortium requirements still apply as well as sub-Saharan African countries? So indeed, the standard consortium requirements always apply. If there's any exception or addition to that, then it is mentioned in the call text. And then here indeed, so in the call text, the issue of the sub-Saharan African countries is mentioned there.
I think, Arion, it's for a sub-Saharan topic, Africa.
Okay,
topic.
so here, in view of the central coordinative role, can the World Health Organization be partner? The World Health Organization can always be a partner in the proposals. Of course, again, here it depends on what is proposed in terms of activities and etc. And of course, whether the partner, in this case, then the World Health Organization, is really a crucial partner within the proposed work activities. Okay, the next question is also on 0403. So it's required to include activities that promote collaboration with ongoing and future EDCTP projects. How do we envision this? So, of course, we know that there are currently projects that are funded by EDCTP. Most likely there will be a follow-up of the current EDCTP 2 as a EDCTP 3, so there will be projects funded under that also. And what we expect is that there are at least communication activities foreseen between the funded projects and these projects that are funded through EDCTP 2 and 3. So we expect that to see within the proposal. Then it's of course for the applicants to describe how exactly they would see that, but I think it should be mentioned, and some budget should also be relating to cover these activities.
Okay, so we have a very general question for topics in Horizon Europe. Is US partner eligible for funding within Horizon Europe? Yes, similarly to Horizon 2020, and this was mentioned in the first session today, based on bilateral agreement with NIH. Yes, they are eligible for funding, as the European partners are eligible for funding in NIH programs. Okay, topic 0404, so artificial intelligence topic, clinical coordinator is suggested, or AI engineering partners should coordinate the project. This is up to the consortium to designate a coordinator. The only point is, if the project proposal is successful and it will come to the grant agreement preparation phase, of course it will be checked whether the coordinator has all financial viability and can, you know, be involved in distribution of the budget. So then normally it will be decided whether, you know, it can be coordinated, could play a role of the coordinator. But in principle, every partner or every legal entity can be coordinator if past the validation at the grant agreement preparation phase.
So the next question is on topic 0403. So can interventions that are not strictly medical but are preventive be included besides the medical ones? Well, here as you can see in the topic text, so it's really about medical interventions. It does not exclude preventive activities in that sense, but of course it has to be very much making sense within the total proposal. So the focus is on the medical interventions, no exclusion with regard to preventive activities, but it should make sense within the proposal.
Okay, so we have a very specific question to the topic on artificial intelligence, 0404. Is risk prediction in remote monitoring considered part of treatment and care? So, I mean, treatment and care, it depends how the person put, you know, the risk prediction, how it links to the treatment and care, and it will be up to the evaluators to decide whether this is relevant for the topic or not. Again, topic on artificial intelligence, that the clinical decision informed by the artificial intelligence needs to be tested in the clinical trial within the project. I mean, the topic is based on the clinical clinical validation of the solutions. So I think the answer is yes. Okay, so we have a general question. Clinical trial cost. Is it possible to use the per patient cost as in Horizon 2020? The clinical annex does not include the corresponding tables. I think this is the change in Horizon Europe. I think unit costs are no more available in this case, but this we will provide the answer via frequently asked question. I cannot not answer this in details here now.
So the next question is whether proposals submitted to the topic that mentions the orchestra project need to include members of the orchestra project at the time of application. The answer there is no. So what we are really asking for is connections with the orchestra project, but that does not mean that it needs to have the same members.
Okay, so question to the topic 0407, so personalized medicine and infectious diseases. Can the proposal also focus on understanding responses to COVID vaccination? So if this is, in the scope of understanding individual host responses to the viruses, it can be also an option. So I think this is not the question to the topic in Destination 3, because we don't have the mental health topic in Destination 3. So can we move to the next question? Okay, the question, how do I know if our proposed study is a clinical study, and therefore if we have to use the specific template and watch the webinar on this part? I mean, if you are designing the clinical research, you should know what is the interventional or not interventional study, because this is, your principal design of your research. Then concerning the template, whether you should use, how you know whether you use template or not, during preparation of the proposal, if you look in the proposal template and especially part A, there is a specific question asking whether you are planning to run the clinical study independently, whether this is the interventional or observational. And if you click yes, you answer this question, you will see that there is this disclaimer that you have to use the specific template on clinical studies. So, and I would like to remind you that we will have a specific session dedicated to this aspects at 5:15 today, at the end of the info day. So I will send you there and you will receive all the information. But definitely, once you will prepare your proposal, you will have the information. So if you look at the template, if you start to work with the submission system, you will see that you have to provide this information. Yes.
So the next question is on topic 0403, if Bangladesh is eligible for funding within this call, and I see a little bit down also on funding possibilities for low and middle income countries, whether they can participate in the call. So it's actually a more general question. And here, I think we have to refer back to the list of countries that are eligible for funding. So I think that is a general aspect for all the call topics where we have identified which third countries are eligible for funding. And I think there you can look for the individual countries that are of interest for you. And that is a general issue, of course, not specifically related to one topic. If there are specific aspects for one topic, then, as I mentioned before, it is mentioned in the eligibility section of the description of the topic.
So we have very specific question to Switzerland, and for this question I would like to ask my colleague Rosanna to answer. So she is a specialist in the international collaboration and participation of international partners to our projects.
Yes. Thank you, Greg. So the situation for Switzerland is special because following the announcement that Switzerland made on the termination of the negotiation on the institutional framework agreement that happened on the 26th of May, the European Union will now need to carefully analyze the impact of such announcement. So in practical terms, it means that for the time being, Swiss participants should be considered as participants from high-income third countries. So participants can join consortia, but they should join with their own funding. Thank you.
Thank you, Rosanna.
So the next question is on the link with orchestra. So they communicated that they cannot engage in any proposal before it is selected. So this is understandable, because if there are many proposals, then of course running projects cannot deal with all the proposals. So the link can then indeed be further worked out after the project has been, or the proposal has been selected for funding.
So question to the topic 0404, but this is a rather general question. Can we start the clinical study before the contract is signed? I don't know at which time scale you're talking, whether this is, you know, at the stage of preparation of the proposal, or once you are sure that your proposal will be granted. Signing starting some work before signing signing the grant agreement, it's on the own risk of the consortium, because in case the grant is not signed, then the costs are not eligible. Okay, so the next question in relation to topic 0401, so palliative care. Can they include artificial intelligence if related to the topic, or artificial intelligence specific to topic 0404? So it's open to any type of the intervention. So if this is relevant for the palliative care, of course, it can be also proposed for topic 0401. So next question, this is also the question for Rosanna. Can you confirm that the low and middle income countries can participate in the call and are eligible to receive funding?
Thank you, Greg. So, of course, on the content, it is up to the proposers to see whether these countries fit in the proposal. But regarding the funding, yes, you will find in the general annexes to Horizon Europe a document which is called a program guide, and there you find the list of all the countries that are automatically eligible for funding, including low and middle income countries. Thank you.
Okay, we have a question to topic 0404, so artificial intelligence. What are the expectations on how much weight artificial intelligence development should have over the actual clinical validation? Is 50-50 budget-wise okay? I mean, there is no something like proportion what is correct weight development over the clinical validation. Topic is focused on the clinical validation. As I said, it's upstream of the development of artificial intelligence per se. So the topic must be based on the existing preclinical or clinical evidence. So in this case, this is the main scope of the topic. So I think it shouldn't be, and it's also, you know, should be supported by clinical studies. So it's not the point to focus very much on the development, especially on the early development of the artificial intelligence. This is not the really idea of this topic. Okay, so next question. Topic 0407, personalized medicine and infectious diseases. Are African and Asiatic partners eligible for studies on COVID long-term impact in Europe? I mean, this has been already covered by answer from Rosanna partially, and also we had this in the first session today. So in this case, of course, they can participate in the project. The point is only eligibility for the funding. So maybe Rosanna, you can add to this question.
Well, I can go back to what I said just before. So the eligibility of funding is explained in the document called the Program Guide, where there is the list, among others, of low and middle income countries, so including from Africa and Asia, that are automatically eligible for funding. Thank you.
So this is a question which is not really, I don't see a relation to our topic. How a participatory research approaches assess in relation to the inclusion of citizen and patient in some of the topics related to patient empowerment. So this is not really for the topics in our destination. I think they were already some questions for destination 1, and this was also in the first introductory session. So I would send you to look at the videos from this session, and we will provide the answer in frequently asked questions to this type of the questions.
So the next question is on topic 0403, the innovative approach to announce poverty-related diseases research in sub-Saharan Africa. Is HVB considered in this topic? Well, here the focus of the topic is really on the diseases that are in the scope of EDCTP, and therefore it's the communicable diseases. Now, of course, if you're dealing with co-infections or other complicating factors, then that could be included if, again, it makes sense, but the focus is on these communicable diseases.
Okay, so maybe I will very fast answer because we have to close the session. The last question, this is, you are right. So it's a question from P. Andres for the 0401 topic. I was referring to the palliative care. Excuse me for the short. Of course, the topic is much larger. The palliative care is also supportive care, survivorship, and end-of-life care. So when I was referring, I was using the very short name of this topic as we used to do between us when we were talking and defining the topics. But of course, it's also for all this type of the solutions which are mentioned in the text. So thank you very much. I've seen that there were still many questions which are not yet answered. So we will try to provide the answer to those questions. So we will record them, and you can find very soon the replies in our frequently asked question and funding and tenders opportunities portal, which was called previously participant portal. So thank you very much for all your questions and participation in our session. I hope we answer most of your questions in the way that it will help you to prepare a nice proposal. So we wish you good luck in this work, and yeah, thank you very much, and enjoy the rest of our meeting.